Okay, so I'm just going to pull up the agenda, which I hope is here. There we go. Okay, everybody see the agenda?
Yep.
Okay, great. All right, so it's, I think, 5:06 or something like that. 5:07, we're starting the meeting. And we want a motion to excuse, who are we excusing? We're excusing
Bruce.
Bruce, right? Okay. Do we want to do the same thing as we've done before? Just decide on who's going to move and second the whole, every motion we make?
Yes.
Any volunteers? All right.
I'll volunteer, but don't you think the minutes look kind of crazy when it's always me? Maybe somebody else should volunteer.
All right.
I haven't volunteered before. I'll volunteer.
Okay, Jesse, you're going to be the mover, and who's going to be the seconder?
I'll second.
Okay. Alrighty. So moved and seconded by Jesse and Joe. Everybody all in favor? Anybody who's not in favor, let me know. Otherwise, we're going to accept the motion to excuse Bruce. And now we'll go into the agenda. Anybody have any additions they want to add to the agenda? I think.
Yeah, I do.
Joyce, you said you wanted to add one.
Yeah, Tim's for Good campaign.
Tim's for Good? Is this like Timmy the
Horton,
coffee
yeah.
shop?
Yeah.
Okay, Tim's for Good campaign?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't do that. Right. Okay, Tim's for Good campaign. Tim's for... All right, anybody else have anything to add to the agenda? All right, and
George,
has everybody
sorry.
had a chance to check the
George.
agenda out? Do you want me to scroll through it, or does everybody remember enough of it that we can?
Hey, George,
Yeah.
did you add that one thing I sent you the email on?
Yes, I didn't.
I didn't see it there.
No, I didn't. Okay, so do you want to describe what it is, Joe?
Yeah, it's something about, like, I know we got a lot of stuff on our agenda, and there's certain things that come up that I think versus trying to do making our decisions as a committee through 20 plus emails back and forth, reply alls. I think we'd be more efficient if we have just someone assigned as the lead and let them make some of those decisions, like whether it be the signs and decisions, and having someone just kind of tasked with something and be the lead on that. And if there's people that want to help out, they can be tasked to that. So it could just be like just a little ad hoc group or subcommittee that would work through to get or work on certain items together, whether it be helping Bruce approach some stuff like that.
So how about we table that as decision making outside of meetings, because that's essentially what we were talking about, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
It was a decision that we were looking at as far as the signs, but we wanted to get it done before the next meeting, and so that's what happened. Okay, can you do, so we'll have those two added to the agenda. Anybody else have anything else to add to the agenda? All right, so are you okay with moving, Jesse, and Joe seconding the agenda, or do you want me to look through it first?
No, I think I'm good.
Good.
I'm good.
Okay, so the agenda was moved by Jesse and seconded by Joe. We never have any pecuniary interests. So the minutes. Has everybody had a chance to read the minutes?
Yes.
All right, so then we'll have a motion by Jesse and seconded by Joe, and anybody who is not in favor, let me know. Okay, we've adopted the minutes. We have no delegations or presentations. So, oh darn it. Okay. I just admitted Yoko. I didn't realize I saw her. All right. Hi, Yoko.
Hi, sorry I'm
Hi,
late.
so that's okay. We're at business arising. Well, you'll see on the screen. We're at business arising from previous minutes. We just started that. So Bruce is not present, so we can't question him about the fresh market diverting their produce waste. So on to online courses on raising chickens. Anne?
Okay, I found some courses online and I sent them to Che and asked him, because what do I know about poultry raising? And he's been very, very busy, bringing in all kinds of new layers and meat birds and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I can share with you the sites I found, but does it mean anything? Would it be beneficial for here? I don't know. I'd rather have somebody that's raising chickens. I thought maybe Jamie could comment, but can we put that on to next meeting and maybe I can have more answers then?
Sure, yeah, we can do that. I mean, as I think Joe's pointed out before, if people really want to know about raising chickens, they can just go online and Google it. But
That's
we'll-
correct.
I guess like you just did. All right, you're on for the next one too, Anne. So I guess we know that we've got the signs and they're being distributed, right?
Well, apparently I phoned the chamber and there's still quite a few signs there, which I find disappointing. But then Joanne mentioned that there were all these other signs that were out, and those are Reagan Breezes, and I don't know where they came from, but that doesn't matter. I mean, I'm hoping people will participate. And, you know, the young woman at the chamber said she would do a text blast or something. And so anyway, I'll check tomorrow to see how many signs are still left.
We got 150.
Yeah,
Okay.
but they're
All right.
good for next year if so.
Yeah, I wasn't anticipating a big rush. That's why I suggested we not get that many, but it'll catch on, I think. And there's certain people that just don't want to do that kind of thing. So
I know they need to manicure their lawn.
that's right.
I think once it starts to feel
Oh.
like spring, people will be more interested. It doesn't feel like spring yet.
Could be. Nobody's cutting their lawns yet. At least I
Yeah.
haven't heard any lawnmowers.
My
How is
hand,
that? Go ahead. Okay.
and I was just wondering, were signs taken to the rec center so that the guys could go and post them on all their areas where they normally would be cutting grass?
That was really, really, really a political cluster, whatever,
What do you mean?
They're not going to participate.
What?
Nope. And I mean, it went up through whatever. Rick, Sylvia could probably speak to that, but then it's become into the CAO's hand. So, and we as people cannot put anything on public land. So no, I certainly put that out there. How many signs you want, and they're not going to do it. So
Yeah, but if the municipality agreed to it.
well, I don't know. I mean, this is Bruce's baby, and I know he talked to somebody, but then it went around and around. So,
Oh, boy.
Can I just offer a different perspective on this?
sure.
I know we say the municipality agreed to it. Technically, what the municipality agreed to is not to enforce a certain bylaw. That's what the resolution before council was, that to not enforce a specific bylaw, whatever it is regarding the lawn height stuff, to allow people to do that. I can't speak to the operations, that section of it, but just from, I know what came across what council's decision was, and it was about the enforcement of a specific bylaw, and that's why those signs are made, and that's why people are allowed to do that on their own property. So just putting that out there to just help clarify, I guess.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. That does clarify it, because it's one thing to say that citizens are excused from the bylaw for those periods, but nobody said that the municipality would be participating, right?
Well, I guess
Okay.
it's just an assumption, I guess.
Well, yeah, it's kind of if you support something, you'd think you'd support it in the way of not mowing your own property, but
Hopefully we get enough people supporting it and the signs go up all around and people are on board with this, and that might maybe change the operations mind about this. So.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Joe. So this next one, Joe, you were going to work on an article, or does Jamie's article take the place of what you were going to submit?
So I had a question I wanted to ask everyone about this. So I know we kind of talked after last month about building some materials and pulling stuff together. And I think it was Bruce that made kind of the point about why reinvent the wheel. So I thought about it some more, and I approached Brian and I asked Brian what the possibility would be for us to put some kind of just an online resource on the municipal website that would tie like on the environment committee's page through the municipal website. So essentially what I'm thinking is it would just be a separate page. Some links that you could have where it would be composting resources, it could be chicken resources, it could be bee support information, some of these things that are actually our work items. And if we, like, I know a lot of folks here go out and they do the research and they read the stuff and that stuff is out there, but if we made it would just be kind of posting the links about what certain things are about, and people could go there and just easy access to some of those resources if they wanted to, instead of trying to filter through and spend hours researching. It would kind of be a clean one-stop shop for folks, and it would be dedicated to everything that we've kind of championed. So that was something I wanted to bring to the table with this action item, and that's something I would want to build into my article. So I'm curious people's thoughts on that approach.
I really like that approach. I think it's really good. There are still people who don't have a lot of access or strong internet access at home, or it's limited. And taking a lot of time to filter through the findings on the internet is really hard. And everybody learns differently. So I think focusing really good information on what we do and what we've been providing and talking about on our website is fantastic.
So I need some clarification here. So when you say that this would be posted on the municipal website, what exactly are you talking about? What is being posted?
So if I go out and I visit a website and it has a lot of good information about composting, how to do it, how to mix your greens and your browns, and what should go into a compost, what shouldn't, ways you can compost to avoid attracting wildlife, things you can do like that. If I find all these different websites that have that kind of info, I can send them. And I think Brian mentioned we can kind of go through Sylvia for this, and it'd be able to kind of create just a click. So you'd go on the environment committee page and you go composting resources. You'd click on that, and then it would just list the web pages that you found, and we just build almost like a library.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. That's what I thought you were talking about, but I'm not sure if is that what you understood it to be, Jesse?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we're all clear on that. Then that sounds like a good idea. So, what's the action that we need to take then? Do we need to, Anne, you've got site, once it's been reviewed by Che, then you have sites about raising chickens, and then we can also have something about composting.
I just, yesterday I attended a webinar, Environmental Defense, about misinformation and debunking disinformation and all that kind of stuff. And it was very interesting. So if we actually did look into various websites and post it, I mean, hopefully we could say to the general public that these have been vetted, kind of things, like it's not, feed bleach to your chickens or something. So, I mean, hopefully that would be a good source of information for people to go if they're looking for a source.
Yeah, sort of like how to keep bears away from your compost, play bagpipe music.
Oh, is that right?
No, I just made that.
Oh. No, I know what you mean. And then get the neighbors all.
Okay.
Okay, so for an action item, George, do you want me to work with Sylvie and see if we can get something set up on the page that would be a link? I got some instructions from Brian. I can reach out to her and kind of try and work through that. But in the meantime, I'll make reference to this in my article, that this is something to look for coming down the pipe, that this is where we're going to be posting some resources on composting to address some of the items that were came out in the survey. Is
Sure.
my thoughts.
Sure, that's a great idea. And if you want to work with Sylvia and organize that on the municipal website, that would be great.
Okay, I'll see what I can find out, and hopefully I'll send this article out tonight or tomorrow morning.
Oh, okay. That's great. Jody, did you get a chance to talk to Vicky about the plans for the airport?
Yeah, I did. Unfortunately, there's nothing to report right now. Hopefully soon.
Okay. Yoko?
Yes, I just want to say that going back to the resource page, I think that's a wonderful idea, and I think we can expand it to other topics like pollinator-friendly yards. I think how to live plastic-free and a lot of different things. I think with respect to making sure there's no misinformation or disinformation on, maybe we can invite or identify a local expert that can sort of review the links and see what they think. I mean, obviously there's always opinions on how to do certain things, but some people may have more experience on chickens or composting or whatever than others, so they can maybe vet some of these websites.
I like that approach, Yoko. I think that's
a good idea. That's basically what we're doing with the chicken, raising chickens, because Che Curtis September has a lot of experience with that. So we're going to him for his opinion on the sites that Anne has found. So we can do the same for other things as well.
George, you're the expert on composting.
Well,
I'll send everything to you, George.
I think Jamie's sounds like he's quite the expert, but yeah, there's some basic things. I mean, I think that Joe, you mentioned them all as far as composting goes, but okay, that sounds great. All right, so I don't see any requests for Jamie to be admitted. I don't know, he didn't say anything. Anyway, he did submit the article, and I thought it was great. It was really straightforward and easy to follow. I thought it was wonderful.
Yeah, really nice.
Yeah, he did a good job. Okay. Cost for repairs to the garden, the community garden.
The guys came up a couple days ago and just checked what they needed, and they haven't come back yet. So I don't know if they have what they need on hand or if they've got a purchase, but I'll just have to wait and see, and then I'll let you know.
Okay.
Usually we pay for it. It usually comes out of, I guess, the rec center. I bet I do have an account that I still have some money if they can find it in the books.
Well, if it's wood, it'll cost about 3 times as much as it would have last year.
No, I have the wood that, like the posts to secure the end pieces. I have that needs to be done on 2 of the beds, but I have that. And I have nails. It's just those metal things that they secure the sides.
The little
Yeah.
brackets on the side.
Yeah.
Okay. Jody, how's the information report to council coming along?
I was hoping to have it ready, but there is a ton of information. This goes back to around 2007. And I realize there's been a bit of a lapse, but there's just a lot of information to disseminate through. So I've got it started, and I'm going to spend some more time on it tomorrow and hopefully get something sent out to you guys.
Okay.
So just to
Nice.
confirm, this is more of an informational report, kind of gauging their interest, whether or not we bring back like an updated bylaw.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, we got 2 cheerleaders there, and Joyce and Joe. You can push the agenda there on the plastic bags.
I'd like to see Joe as a cheerleader.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jody.
Okay. Again, the next one is Bruce's, and so I think with the answer is already to that point has already been made, that the municipality is not participating in the mow-free zones. Okay. Any luck on the poster contest, Yoko and Jesse?
So I've been playing phone tag with Bobby, who I was going to ask about how to set this up for Friends of Cedar Day. So no progress. And then also virtual schooling happened. So I've been a little bit short of time. But I'm hoping to have it done next couple of weeks. Like I'm aiming for maybe May long weekend. And then, yeah, I think that's really as far as that's gotten. However, in the brainstorming for this, another idea, I think we floated with maybe Jesse and Joyce about running something in the Sioux Bulletin about maybe every couple of weeks, a little tip on how to be like a pollinator friendly yards, and maybe something like a little project people can do with their kids. So I've reached out to Tim Brody, and he'd be interested in running something, but I guess it says it depends on how it's formatted. If it looks like an ad from the Environment Committee, then it would be at a cost, but it would be guaranteed in terms of being something regular, that we can use that space to, I don't know, provide tips or something, or like as part of the community corner, and then it just be running as space permits, and but we could sort of like promote in May and June, maybe every week or every couple of weeks, something that promotes bee friendly or pollinator friendly yards.
Okay, so if it's going to be something that we have to purchase, then we'll have to bring it to a meeting and see how much it's going to be and whether or not that's what we want to put our money towards. We're back to getting $2,500 a year. Is that correct? Can someone from the municipality confirm that?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, we do. Okay. All right. So the other thing, Yoko, I think that this would fit into what Joe was just talking about, is on our website, where we could talk about how to be bee friendly or whatever, and different tips that could be posted there as well, like different sites that would give different tips.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it would be a good place for it to go there. I mean, I was hoping something a little bit more, I mean, if we can, and I mean, certainly if it's a cost issue, then I mean, I think, yeah, that always needs to be discussed if it's worth it. but that way, people would have something to look forward to read the bulletin. If we can make it fun and, family friendly and make little projects out of it. I think, yeah, but either way.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. It would be more accessible if it's in for those people who do get the bulletin. It's, as you said, something to look forward to and maybe plan an activity around. Okay, sounds good. Okay, didn't we already? Jody will send a copy of the Sioux remediation project update. Did we saw that last meeting? Did we not?
Yeah, I thought so. I thought I'd sent it out too, if I recall.
Okay, well, yeah, I know that you shared the screen. You shared it on the screen anyway. Anybody have any questions or requests around the Sioux remediation project update?
Yeah,
Joyce?
I was just wondering if we could get a copy of that PowerPoint that you sent around, or that you presented last time. I did have one call from somebody asking, how things were going with it.
Yeah, I can send it out again.
Sorry?
Yeah, I'll send it out again.
Yeah, I
Okay.
couldn't find it. Thanks. Great.
Okay.
Thanks, Jody. All right. So as far as our work plan goes, curbside swap, we're not going to be officially promoting the curbside swap. So that was discussed last time.
Well,
Any updates on that? Joyce?
If the lockdown is over by the 20th of May, we can do it the next weekend. If it's
okay. By the end of May, you said?
Yeah, I think May the 20th is the lockdown is over.
Yeah.
And maybe, well, we'll see. And then we could do it the following weekend, the 28th, 29th or something.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay, so I mean, I guess I guess what we're saying is as soon as the lockdown ends, then we can begin promoting again.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, exploring composting options. I think we've talked about that. Joe, you're going to be putting the article in the paper. Communication and education. Any suggestions or updates on this goal? Communication and education?
I think the online resource, if we can and build something around that, I'll hit on this pretty good.
That's right. That's right. And the articles in the bulletin around bee friendly yards, and that's an educational thing as well. Okay. Community garden, we're ready to go. The ground is thawed out. Joanne, you ready to start planting some onions or something?
Just waiting for the beds to be repaired that need to be repaired, and hopefully opening May long weekend. I just got to check with Brian before I do open to make sure it's okay, but I'm going to assume that it will be, because food security is essential. I have all the display, the COVID signs, so I've got to put them up. Yeah, so it's just getting the beds repaired, and then it'll be a go.
Okay. Jody, I don't think there are any municipal project reviews to talk about today, are there?
No, nothing right now. No.
Just want to comment on that. The council is having a day-long meeting on the 15th to look at all the reports that have been commissioned, to look at what our priorities are. And I think that would be an opportunity where we could raise the issue of the environment in terms of the projects that are being discussed in these reports. So I certainly will just use that opportunity to talk about environment.
Okay,
Sorry, what's
not looking at anything
about?
specific, but not looking at anything specific, but just generally speaking, there may be something specific come up, in which case I think that's worthy of raising that.
Okay, Anne, you have a question? And then Yoko.
I'm just in anticipation of the next item.
Oh, okay, Yoko, what is your point?
Just with what Joyce said at the municipal meeting, I know this came up in another meeting about recreational path. Just to, and you brought it up, I think, about designating some land as recreational use. And I think, I don't know if that would be an opportunity to kind of like bring that forward to the municipality in light of balancing some of these projects.
Yeah. Outdoor recreation. For sure.
Hmm? What did you say, Joyce?
To say, outdoor recreation for sure is a much smaller footprint. It's much better for you than the inside recreation that we're spending a lot of money and time.
Yeah, because I think there was a discussion about like if all this crown land that it's if there's no competing interest, it's very easy for it to be used for like I don't know, corporate use or whatever. But if there's a competing interest, like this is designated outdoor recreational use area, I think was it you who said that? I can't remember. Then it's much harder to sort of like use it for logging or whatnot.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, for sure. That's a good one to keep in mind.
Yeah, there was years back, there was an issue regarding the area, the Cedar Bay area, and there was desire by I don't know which logging company, but to log in certain areas, and I think we worked quite hard with the MNR to ensure that area was not on the table as far as logging is concerned, and I think we were able to convince everyone that it had a better value as a recreational area than to be logged. Okay, Anne, you're on for the environmental recognition. Your mic's on mute.
Joyce and I attended a meeting, a virtual meeting with the Chamber of Commerce about a trail system and how different, organizations can be, the nomads, the Skidoo Club, that kind of thing, could all be working together. We've just had a very primary meeting, but anyway, it's going forward. So there's another thing for outdoor recreation that's in the works. That's all I'm sharing. And so now I'll move on to environmental recognition. Okay, I did put in the thing about Sherry McNear, and thanks to Bruce who brought that to my attention. And I also sent to Brian a thing about that general recognition for all those people who picked up litter and beautified the town. And I used Jesse's words about, we respect you and, we see you and that sort of thing. Anyway, I just wrote to Brian saying, hey, it hasn't been posted. And I sent it to him as soon as that initiative was over. Anyway, so hopefully that will be up. That's it. That's my report.
Okay, excellent. Anybody over the period from the last meeting till this think of anybody that should be nominated for environmental recognition? Okay, well, it's...
Hi, George. It's Trisha here.
Hi, Trisha.
Hi. I don't have anyone in mind to nominate, but I did want to ask Anne a question. So, Anne, for what you just discussed, where was that posted? Like, was that put in the paper or where?
Sherry McNear, it's posted, it starts off on the municipal Facebook page, and then I take it and I send it to all the other pages that I have access to on Facebook. Oftentimes then Reedy, she contacts me and we have a conversation about it. And sometimes it gets in the newspaper and sometimes it doesn't. But it's always just an online kind of forum for that.
Okay, because I have seen it in the paper from time to time, but I didn't see anything recently. So yeah, most of it is online. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just when they have space or it piques their interest or something. So,
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
welcome.
Adaptation to climate change. Any updates on that one? Okay.
No, I mean, I could submit the same article I resubmitted every spring about being ready for forest fires. I suppose I could get that together and see if Community Corner would take it, or even as a letter to the editor.
That's probably a good idea. That's the one where you listed all the things you should have ready, for an emergency.
Yeah,
Yeah. Sure. If you've got it, if you've
Yeah,
already got it written up, you just have to resubmit it, I guess. Hey.
yeah, I'll take a look and see.
Okay.
I guess we have to go through Brian though, don't we? Yes, we do.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Locally sourced food. I think we touched on that a bit with the chicken raising of chickens. Does anybody have any other comments they want to make or suggestions regarding this goal? Oh, Anne?
No, I'm just sighing because it's such a tough time to have anything locally sourced, like farmers markets and all those kinds of things. I hope that some local producers will continue to do these pop-up ones that they've been doing, where they're the only ones at the Travel Information Center. But I mean, until we get out of this pandemic, I don't know how much we can further it.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
encourage people to have a garden, I guess.
Well, apparently that's quite a trend these days since COVID came along. A lot you can't buy seeds unless you order them in November because they get sold out anyway. Okay, waste reduction. This is so anyway. The one item on here I think we already talked about. It was the single-use plastics bylaw that Jody's preparing some information for. Any other thoughts on this goal as far as new initiatives or comments on the single-use plastic initiative?
Yeah, maybe it'll come under the new business when we talk about Tim's for Good, or do you want to talk about it now?
Well, we'll just go through. I think we only have one item on our goals, and then we'll go to the two items that have been added.
Can I just back up and mention something there? I was just wondered if Jody could maybe talk to Andrew about when we might have a hazardous waste pickup again. I know that it's only once a year, and I think people need to be educated what to collect. But, so that could be another piece of education about what can you save that doesn't go in the landfill, it goes to our hazardous waste day.
So sure, I think that would be a very, very simple article just saying that hazardous waste day will be September whenever. It seems to be in September. And here are items that you can dispose of there.
I just wondered if Jody could maybe speak to Andrew about, I think it's Andrew, right? About what they will take. I mean, they seem to take everything that I take, but I mean, maybe not everything is, anything that has a hand that's rotting off, I save. So.
The corrosive one.
Yes.
Yeah, I can do that. I think, but I do think they kind of list when the time comes, they'll list kind of what they accept and what they don't, but.
I think it's a little too late,
Yeah, true, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure people in apartment buildings don't have the space to save this and this and that, but if people have a garage or a basement or whatever, and they know that this should be saved for that pickup, then I think we need to educate sooner than later.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I thought there was something on the municipal website, but maybe there isn't.
There is, George. It's posted on the Public Works website and on the Environment Committee website.
Yeah, I thought so. That's a list of all the acceptable items, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So we could,
Okay, just
so we could-
reiterate.
do we want to add that to the educational items that we want to be submitting to the bulletin?
Sure.
Does anybody have any thoughts about that? I mean, it's as I said, it's very simple. It could be something like, hey, don't throw away your your waste. Save it for this day, and here's what you can save. I don't know.
Yeah, you know, the guy that's doing the stuff on the municipal Facebook page is really creative. It'd be worthwhile talking to him or Brian, I guess. But this guy, he puts on really entertaining kinds of posts about municipal stuff.
I think that one of the things that we probably talked about a million times before is that there are people don't go to the municipal site as much as they go to, say, Sioux area and events site, or if we can post on there as well as the municipal site, it's more visible, I think.
Oh yeah, we can just do a share of those things easily.
Yeah.
Once.
Okay.
I was just bringing him up because he's particularly good at it.
Right.
I think it's a guy, is it, Jody? Whoever's doing the municipal ones, they're really good.
That's Chris Pollard.
Yeah, I believe it's Chris Pollard. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he's the one that used to be at the Dryden newspaper, is it?
No, that was Chris Marchand. He pointed that out to me once.
Okay. Was Chris Pollard on the radio then? Anyway, I think it would be good to bring it back and put it in everybody's, while they're cleaning things up and doing projects, and to save this for the hazardous waste day.
So once it's approved to be on the municipal site, we can share it to these other sites without having to go through another.
That's correct, yeah.
Review,
So all of the environmental recognition things, Brian or whomever, Brian okays it, puts it on, has it put on the website, not the website, the Facebook page, and then I just grab it and spread it around to all the other sites that I can think of.
Okay. So we'll do the same then with the hazardous waste items. Spread them around. Okay, mold-free zones, that's been discussed. I don't think we have anything else to add to that. So new business, we'll start with Tim is for good.
Yeah, I just heard this. They've been running ads on CBC about they're planning to eliminate single-use plastics by whatever, and I don't know how they're planning to do it or what, but I thought it might be useful for us if we're looking at a bylaw about single-use plastics to somehow involve them. Because they're a huge organization. People might listen to Tim Hortons, and might have, so I'm just thinking of this as a strategy in our campaign, is to somehow bring them in, find out what they're planning to do, see if they could support ours, we could support them, so on.
So I think I mentioned a couple of meetings ago, but I heard that they were initiating a few pilot programs in probably areas like Toronto or Hamilton, but where you basically rent out a non disposable container cup, and then you bring it back, and I guess they give you another one and they sterilize the one that you brought back. And I think that's how the system's going to work.
That may be it. I don't know. Yeah, I'd forgotten that, but we could look out and see whether or not they'd be whether or not Sioux Lookout could be one of the pilot projects.
Kind of think we wouldn't be, but we'll see. Yeah, sure. Think we could talk about, we're giving a northern perspective to this program for sure. So you said Tim's for Good is this is a program that they're launching, or what?
That's the name of the campaign, and I imagine it's probably connected to what you just referenced, George.
Okay. All right. So what you're saying is if we could not partner, but we could get their support in our efforts to reduce single-use plastics. Is that your suggestion?
Yeah, somehow I guess just explore or connect with them whether or not they can, and whether or not we can promote what they're trying to do. But we'd have to just start the dialogue, I think.
Okay. All right.
You know that this Tim Hortons here has a the owner in Winnipeg does have a soft spot for Sioux Lookout, and like they've asked we've had the best smile cookie anywhere in the region, the most brought in more funds from smile cookies than anywhere, and so it might be it's a suggestion, something to think about as a possible strategy.
So that when you say that, it makes me think that the way to contact Tim's about this, rather than going to their head office or whatever, is to go through the owner of the Sioux Lookout outlet and see whether that person has suggestions or ways of as you say, partnering, or what do you think of that?
Yeah, possibly. We might be able to even just to go locally to the manager and ask her, Ashmara, just how we might proceed, what she knows about it, if there's anything we can do to partner, and so on. So, and whether she might want to contact the owner, or she might suggest we do. I don't know. The first step might be for us to talk to Ashmara.
Please. There's Jesse sent the link out. They have a whole web page on it. Tim's does. What they want to do, they list all their pilots. Yeah. They have a listing of how they're doing in the pilots and stuff, and she posted that link in the chat there.
Okay. Jesse, anything to add?
Well, yeah, I'm quick on the drum. So I think we should start locally, because I think it's a really good thing for the Environment Committee to be involved with local businesses and see if we can do a joint campaign. And if there's any other businesses that would like to be involved, especially with summer coming, if we could all brainstorm and come up with an idea to promote the environment and promote getting rid of plastic. On the website for Tim's for Good, they're posting the dates of when what they're doing. So January 2021, they have recyclable sandwich packaging. April 2021, removing plastic straws. So they have plans of when they're doing what, and it looks like they're going to be doing more. So let's see what our local business is doing and what their near future plans are doing, and what can we do together? Let's see who we can rope in to do more.
Okay, sounds like there's some enthusiasm for that idea. Do we have any people who would like to approach the local manager and start with that? I suppose going into talking to her about the different initiatives that Tim's already has, or they're coming up in the future, it would be helpful, I think, to go armed with that information.
Yeah, Ashmara knows me from Friends of Cedar Bay, and that might be a useful link. I think if a couple of us went, I'd be happy to call her and sort of initiate contact and so on, and anybody else. I think it'd be good if there was a couple of us who went, maybe George, maybe if you went as the chair of this committee, and myself as, knowing her.
Yeah,
Or
sure. I was
maybe-
going to volunteer to do that. If you want to do the initial contact, and then we can go together. Anybody else who wants to join us?
Sure, I'll give her, if we're allowed to have meetings. I don't know how that
Well,
goes,
we
but
can social distance. It's an essential. Coffee is an essential good. So we can go to the Timmy's place and sit 6 feet away from each other.
Yeah, I haven't socialized with adults in a very long time. I'd be up for that. Even 2 meters away, I'd totally be open.
Okay, great, Jesse. Do you want us? Do you want to have a little practice round first?
Yeah, I might be out of practice. If I act weird, it's not my fault. Just.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know some small businesses, like Anne's talking about, Foxy's have issues with reusable containers. I don't think that's a COVID thing necessarily. It might be, but I think it's also if you have a small kitchen, it's a small business issue. If you don't have like a specific kitchen set up, I think. But I'm wondering if that Pelican sandwich, they're pretty focused on the environment. They have a lot of, like, they've got paper straws and they use paper bags. And there's a new catering company, Caliente. I don't even know where they are. But let's talk to Tim's first, but I'd be interested in approaching other businesses locally to see if they'd be interested in that as well.
Sure, that's a good idea. I know that a few years ago I was speaking to somebody at the Wellington just about their takeout boxes or whatever, and asking if they could use cardboard as opposed to the foam packaging. And he told me it was a matter of cost. He said the foam ones are a lot cheaper. So,
there was this has happened in bigger cities, I know. But somebody saw that as a business opportunity. And what they did is they bought, the business they saw was being the metal containers.
yes.
So he approached the businesses and said, look, I'll buy all the metal containers and I rent them to you as a business. So I take the full cost of the containers, but you use them and you charge your customers and they get that some of that money back when they bring those back. You clean them and then resend it with them. I thought that was great. I would do that, but I don't have any money to buy a whole bunch of metal containers.
Yeah.
But that would be an interesting business here to provide everybody with the same metal containers. So everyone then would have the same small, medium, and large.
Yeah, I saw yeah, a couple of months ago, I heard someone on the radio who was running that type of a business, and yeah, it sounds great. Well, we could always just throw that out to people and see what maybe some entrepreneur would say, okay, I'll take that on. Who knows? All right. Okay, so the other item was how we make decisions. I think Joe, let me know if I'm not presenting this correctly, but how we make decisions, or how we reduce sort of a flurry of emails when we're trying to make decisions outside of meeting times.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, George. All I'm just trying to maybe get is just some feedback from folks on how we do this. I think we need, I think we gotta give, if there's people that are willing to step up and take the lead on certain things, we gotta give them a bit of freedom to run with it, with how they want to do it and some of that aspect, and just kind of focus on that, and it might kind of cut down on some of the email chatter, the back and forth, the coming getting 20 pings because you get 20 different emails coming through, and then trying to follow it and read the thread and keep up with everything. It just kind of gets like this.
Yeah.
Just my thoughts. So like if we have an action item, like we kind of have the standing action items in that lead, and if we have a lead on it and then we assign an assistant or two on that, if there's decisions or discussion that they want to have on their action item, they can just have a conversation between the three of them, and let them go with it. And I think then there might be, if they hit a point where they have to check back with the group for kind of maybe a consensus on something, then they do so. But like for me, for instance, I didn't want to take the leap and say we would do this on the Environment Committee webpage because I wanted that to be a group decision. So I didn't want to talk about that. So that's just kind of my thoughts about it. It might make things a little more efficient. And, you know, having some of that freedom to run with something might be encouraging to some folks and that want to step up and do something. So, or running with an action item. So just some thoughts, open for discussion. Curious what everyone thinks.
And
I agree with Joe. I know with the B signs and the pandemic and the shutdown and everything else, that was just kind of horrific. And I don't know, maybe people got some tone in my emails. But anyway, I don't know. I mean, it wasn't even my initiative, yet I took on getting the signs, right? So,
yeah.
I mean, I think only things, personally, if there's a time, a timed item that needs to be done between meetings, like the B signs, we kind of wanted them out at the beginning of May. So other than that, I think everything else should just, you know, go on the back burner until the next meeting. I think only things that have to happen between meetings should be done like Joe says.
Okay, and I would agree. I think, Anne, that you know, over the years that we've been on this committee, there haven't been that many items like this. Like you said, it was a bit of a time crunch for us, and at the last meeting you did volunteer to get the signs, but as far as distributing them and those other things, I think that was up in the air. So I think that, Joe, you make a good point, and maybe what we need to do, I don't know if we need to actually set some kind of policy or procedure to deal with these items. As Anne said, most of the time, I think it's best if there's no time crunch, as you said, with regarding the website item, we just hold off until the next meeting. What are your thoughts, Joe?
Yeah, that's fine. If that's where we want to be, if that's where we want to go. Even if there's a time crunch, I would even be, pardon the pun there, be open to just letting someone, one or two people, and say, hey, I need distribution methods, who can help out, or I need a way to distribute, who can help out, and give a couple people put their name in, and then just chat from there, or set up a call or something like that too.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
or maybe
maybe
it's something to be cognizant of going forward, just to try and, because when stuff like that, when it goes out in big threads, it's easy to miss stuff and stuff like that. So just my
for the most part, as I said to you in my message to you, is that I find most items like this are best dealt with in this kind of a format as opposed to emails. But I understand why, Anne, you reached out, because we had as you said, because of COVID, we had some limitations as to how we could distribute them. So, and because of the size of our committee, I mean, we which is great. We have a really large committee, which is amazing, and we have a real good source of, you know, creative ideas because we're such a large committee. But as you said, Joe, it can get a little, I'm not sure what the word for it is, but
Convoluted or something.
convoluted, yeah.
Yeah,
So
and I don't want to take away from anyone's intent. That's not what this is about. Trying to tell people not to participate in any way. That's not what this is about. I'm just trying to maybe just think of a way we could make sure we're more efficient, or just not too many cooks in the kitchen, I guess, or just a way to kind of give some people some freedom and run with stuff. And yeah, like you say, George, this might be something that doesn't happen a lot, but with some of the activities, it might be something that we see more often too. So just something to be aware of. So okay,
I think maybe your point of perhaps if a person who's taken on an initiative has questions about, you know, next steps or whatever, that perhaps they reach out to 2 or 3 people who have expressed an interest in it before, or you know that they have an interest in it, and if that's not working, then expanding it, but generally just limiting it to a few people. Is that something you would agree upon? And
that was kind of my thought, is almost just kind of having like a task team almost.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so if Anne volunteered to do the B signs, and Jesse and Joyce said, yeah, let me know if you need a hand or anything, that might be reflected in our action items. And to lead getting the B signs, and Jesse and Joyce to provide assistance if required, or something along those lines. But I'm not tied to it. I'm not there. It was just a thought I had with seeing that in a way that we could maybe kind of get around having that issue going forward. That's all.
Okay, well, I mean, we've all heard that suggestion, and so perhaps when we, at our next meeting, if we have an action item that someone takes on, then let's make an effort to volunteer to be backup, or to be support, to provide support in that action. I think that's kind of what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, can we leave it at that? Anybody have any other comments about that? And your hand's still up. Does that mean you want to comment some more?
No, I'm sorry. I'm just a lazy hand puller down.
That's okay. I'm just pleased that I actually noticed these things. All right. Okay. Any other last minute comments, updates, thoughts that people had during the meeting? Your hand's still up too, Joe. You just want to have the floor all night, or what?
Yeah, I just Jody wants to see my cheerleading demonstration, I think.
Okay. Well, yeah, we want to see. We'll put it on YouTube. Yoko.
It'll go viral.
Yes, I actually have a real question. For the contest, are we able to give out some prizes? I guess I would have to be approved in terms of budget. I mean, if something like is really nothing, I'm happy to do that, like a seed bomb or something on my own. But I don't know if there's a budget for something like that.
I would suggest that we put some money aside for prizes. Heather Messick gave me this beautiful little it's a little nesting box for pollinating bees, and it's got little holes. This is just a circular, it's just basically a tube, and it's got circles in it, and of different sizes to accommodate different pollinating bees. And what they do is they go in, they lay their eggs and pack it with mud, and then the larvae hatch, and they push their way through the bud, and we could give those out as prizes.
That's a bee hotel. That's awesome.
Yeah, bee hotel. I could send you a picture of mine. I actually I took it to show Heather, where I just mounted it on the side of my shed.
Do you know where she got them from?
No, but I could find out.
Did she make them? Okay.
You can make your own.
Yeah, I know, but I like if you give us a prize, I guess you don't want to make your own
Yeah,
prize.
yeah, that's right, yeah. Yeah, give the instructions as to how to make your own as a prize. We're on a low budget. Okay, can that wait till the next meeting, Yoko? And does
Well, I
anybody?
mean, I'm trying to get the contest done. I'm sure you can just ask her and like maybe if you can ask her. I don't have her email. I don't have her contacts. Just ask her where she got them, and then I can take it from there.
Yeah,
and
I will do
email me
that.
back. Yeah,
I'll do that. I'll let you know what the contact for the purchasing those B hotels, and I will yeah, I'll send it to you.
okay, perfect.
Okay, any other last minute comments? Gee, Joanne, you held off for the whole meeting. Good for you.
Smart ass.
All right. Okay, so I guess we're officially ending the meeting, and the next meeting is going to be June 3rd. It's 6:12. All right. Happy
Hey.
gardening, everybody.
Thank
Good
you.
night, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Have a
Good night,
good
everyone.
night. Bye.
Good night.
Yeah.
Stop screen share.